Hey guys, and welcome to Random Movie Monday, because the Philip DeFranco Movie Club is a joke. So, the movie I'm going to be reviewing today is called Rabbit Hole. And the story is about this husband and wife losing their son, and the whole movie is pretty much just about them dealing with it. There's no real distinct plot, but you're kind of just following them through their days and seeing how each of them deal with it, seeing how other members of their family deal with it as well. I can't really say much more than that. There's a lot more to it, but that's the basic premise. I actually really enjoyed this movie, to be honest with you. I thought there's so much to like about it. So let me talk about the good stuff first. I think the acting is really good for the most part. Nicole Kidman and Aaron Eckhart, they show this hurt so well, I think. The cinematography is beautiful. There's a lot of nice lighting effects. I mean, the plot's simple, but it carries you through the whole movie. The movie's an hour and a half, but I wasn't bored at any point. It is very good. It's incredibly sad. I did cry a couple times. It's very tense. Actually, I read a review on this, and somebody said it's awkward, and it kind of is, because there's so much tension between all the characters, because at first you don't know what happens at all. They don't describe how the boy dies. There's all these other characters that get introduced later, and you see how they affect different things. It keeps it moving. You are literally just going through these people's days for like a week or something. That might sound boring to people, but it is really interesting because you get to see both perspectives, and I actually found myself really identifying with Nicole Kidman's character. I think me and her act quite alike. In fact, she was going to this, there's a scene where they're going to a counseling group with other parents who've also lost children, and she's just sitting there rolling her eyes, and this one couple is talking about how, oh, God needed another angel, so they took our child, blah blah blah. She just interrupts the meeting and is like, why didn't God just make another angel? I mean, he is God after all. Just make another angel. Why did he need your kid? And everything went silent. They're like, okay, we're gonna go. And it's kind of funny in a really dark way. I felt so much like her, because I feel like I would feel the same way. The way the mother deals with the pain and the way the father deals with the pain is two very different ways, and I think both ways are incredibly realistic. For instance, Nicole Kidman, her character, kind of stoic about it. I mean, it obviously hurts her very much, but she's trying so hard to get rid of anything that reminds her of her son, just so she doesn't have to think about it anymore. And she doesn't want to be publicly emotional or anything. She doesn't cry or anything like that. Whereas Aaron Eckhart's character does cry a lot, and he watches the same video of his son every night. And he goes to group because he thinks it helps, and he's trying so hard to make them go through this together, and Nicole Kidman wants nothing to do with that. I think if I had to say some bad things about this movie, I think it would just be that, one, I think occasionally the dialogue is a little weak. I think it's a little too simple at times. Sometimes they literally just say, okay, yeah, okay, I understand, okay. That would be a whole conversation, and they say okay 10,000 times in this movie, and I get it, because I think they were trying to say that there's really no words for this kind of situation, and I totally understand that. But I think it's almost too simple at times, and I kind of didn't like that, but I think it works fairly well for the movie. And also, I think there's a couple times, especially Nicole Kidman and Aaron Eckhart, where they overact a little bit, especially when they're yelling at each other. Well, specifically, there's one scene towards the end where they're screaming at each other, and I think both of them overact just a little bit, especially on certain lines, and but I get it. It's easy to ignore, and I think overreaction to this kind of situation is kind of appropriate, so I'm not gonna nitpick that much. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I really like Aaron Eckhart's and Nicole Kidman's relationship. Just nice. It's so nice to see a genuine relationship. You always see, in movies, the husband's cheating, all this stuff is going on, but they actually have a really solid relationship, and both of them have a chance to get out of it if they want it, but they actually do love each other, and they don't go the way you quite think they will, and I really enjoy that about this couple. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a really, really good film. It's very emotional, it's very tense. It's not too long. I think this movie is very relatable, even if you haven't lost a child, if you just lost anybody close to you and it's caused such a rift in your family, I think this is incredibly relatable, and I think everybody could enjoy this movie. So, that's all I have to say for today. There will be a comic book review up on Thursday, so I'll see you guys then.